Let's dive into the top 10 supplements that are out on the market today. The first one, number 10, we are going to start with is Emergen-C. I know you guys have seen this. They're everywhere. They're even at airports now. So it's really hard to not know about Emergen-C. So here are my pros for Emergen-C. It has a really high dose of vitamin C. It's got about 1,000 milligrams, which compared to most of the products that are out there when it comes to vitamin C, there's not a ton of vitamin C in there. So 1,000 milligrams is the minimum dosing that I would want you to use for immune support. Typically, I like to see closer to 3 to 5 if you are around people who are sick, if you feel like you're getting sick, or if you are sick, you're going to need much higher doses, 3 to 5 grams a day. So 3 to 5 of those Emergen-C packets, which is fine, but they do have a lot of other added ingredients like sugar and fructose and maltodextrin and things that you don't necessarily want to have 5 packets worth of in a day. So if you're in a pinch, if you're traveling, if you see it at the airport and you're like, I need something to support my immune system, totally fine to do. But on a daily basis, I would definitely recommend something like C+ BioFizz. This is one of my go-to products that I really love. It's not only got a ton of vitamin C per serving, it's got about 2.5 grams. It also tastes great. And it has a lot of other antioxidants in it. So it's going to support your liver metabolism. It's going to support your immune function. And it comes in a smaller tub of it. So you can just put it into your water and drink it throughout the day. So very similar to Emergen-C in terms of like powder, flavor, dissolving it in water, but it doesn't have some of the added ingredients. And you get other things other than vitamin C in the dosing of it. All right, let's move on to number 9 is Lemme DeBloat. This whole brand, this whole line has a lot of gummy vitamins in general. My pros for this are literally none. I'm sorry, Lemme. Like, I wish I could love you. Why are the Kardashians even making supplements in the first place? Like, sell me Skims, sell me makeup, sure. But why are you selling supplements? There are literally no pros to this. So specifically, the Lemme DeBloat is targeted to help with digestion and bloating. And if you look at the supplement label, it's got 3 billion CFUs. All it is a probiotic. And the probiotic it has one single strain, and it's only got 3 billion CFUs, and it's in a gummy form. So by the time you eat it, digest it, get it into your colon, there's probably nothing left in there. So you're really just paying to eat a gummy. There's extra ingredients and additives because it's a gummy to make it taste good that you don't need because you're not even getting benefit from the supplement that's in it. And it's really not going to do much for your bloating. Again, it's one strain of probiotic and it's barely any of that strain. So save your money on this one, guys, please. Don't buy it. If you want an alternative to Lemme gummies, I would say the Black Forest organic gummy bears that Costco carries is a much better option. You could get way more gummy bears for a lot cheaper. And they're probably going to do the same thing that Lemme DeBloat will do. Number 8 is the Ritual Prenatal. I'm kind of on the fence about, honestly. Here are my pros for this. They only have 2 capsules that you need to take. A lot of the higher quality prenatals have 3 or more capsules that you need to take, which can be a pain in the butt, especially if you are pregnant and you're dealing with morning sickness and you can't even keep down 2 capsules. So this has a less amount of capsules. And it's easily found in stores. I think Target even carries Ritual, which is really accessible for most people, which I like. I will say that as far as the cons go for this one, the doses are pretty low in the vitamins that they do have, and there's not enough nutrients in it for a prenatal, in my opinion. I like my prenatal to be pretty robust, especially if a pregnant person is taking this. You're going to need a lot more nutrients because your body, that little baby is just sucking it all from you. And if you are not replenishing it, this has the bare minimum. This has everything that you need, but it doesn't have any extra. And I think that's kind of how they market themselves too, is just what you need, not anything else. So if that is all you're looking for, that's fine. My other con to this is that the omega-3 dosing that's in here is pretty low. So for prenatal, for postpartum, you're going to want omega-3 doses that are closer to 1 to 1.5 grams per day. And this only has about 350, and it only has DHA. And the research for preventing postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety is 1 to 1.5 grams of EPA and DHA. So Ritual only has DHA, which is great for the baby, but as a mom, it's not going to be as helpful for you. And then also, anytime you see a multi and omegas paired together, you're probably not getting the most high quality of the omegas. They typically need to be separate from the multis to really get a high dose to get good quality. So I don't typically love a product that combines a multi and omegas together. So if you just want the bare minimum, you don't really want anything extra, you don't want to have to take a lot of capsules, this might be a good fit for you. But honestly, for the price, I think you can get so many better multivitamins and prenatals. So here are a few of my alternatives to Ritual. So the Prenatal SAP by NFH, this is one of my favorite ones, and you can grab this in the dispensary below. I'll put the link down. This is a really great one. It's 3 capsules. You can split it up 3 times a day. You can take them all at once, however you want to do it, but it's got a great amount of nutrients in there and higher quantities of the nutrients that are in there as well. And there's no omegas in here. So you will have to take it separately, but that's not a bad thing. The other one is the basic prenatal from Thorne. A lot of you may have already been taking this. You might have heard of it, seen it, whatever. This is another one that I really like using. And then lastly, I love the DFH Prenatal Pro. So all of these are available in the fertility section on my dispensary. All right, let's talk about Nutrafol. This one is everywhere. They do a great job at marketing. Everyone is talking about Nutrafol because we're all dealing with hair loss. So here are my pros for Nutrafol. I have had a lot of people in the comment sections of my social media tell me when I talk about Nutrafol, they're like, well, Nutrafol really worked for me. And I'm not going to deny that it did. I think for some people, they start taking Nutrafol and they do see that their hair comes back. I also think those people could have benefited from a good multi, a good omega, maybe changing around their nutrition a little bit and getting in a little bit of movement. Like if that's all they changed, I still think that they would have seen results with their hair loss journey, but I think all they've done is added Nutrafol. So Nutrafol does have a good amount of nutrients. It's like a mini multi plus a few other herbs. So that is my pros for it. My cons for Nutrafol are when you see the label, it says proprietary blend. So as a proprietary blend, that means they just have to disclose the full amount of all the things that are in that blend, but they don't tell you how much of each thing is in there. So if you look at the nutrition label, it says the Synergen complex has collagen, ashwagandha, saw palmetto, biocurcumin, palm extract. So it's got all of these things in there and at 1.6 grams. How much of that 1.6 grams is ashwagandha? Because for a therapeutic dose of ashwagandha, we need at least 500 milligrams of it. So that's a third of the proprietary blend that it says it is. But then there's also all these other things. So it's likely not a super therapeutic dose of the blend that's in there. And I think for some people, that little amount that they're getting from it is still beneficial. So totally up to you. I personally think that for $80 to $90 a month, it can be a little bit expensive for the amount of product that's in there. All right, number 6 are OLLY sleep gummies. These I see a lot at stores. So my pros for that are that they are very accessible. If you're traveling, you're not, you really need something for sleep and you don't know where to go, you don't have access to full script or you don't want to wait for something to get shipped, you can go to the store and grab these. So I really like that it's available. And there is a good amount of melatonin and L-theanine in here. So I do really appreciate that they did a good job with the L-theanine dosage. And L-theanine, if you're unfamiliar, I talk about this in some of my other videos. L-theanine is an extract from green tea that helps with stress and relaxation without necessarily sedating you. You could take it at night. It really just helps you relax and unwind. So I really love using L-theanine, especially for those who struggle with a racing mind at night. And I like that this actually included L-theanine in there. And I do really like the herbs that they have put in here. There's the L-theanine, there's melatonin. Those are the 2 main things that are in here. And then there's chamomile, passion flower, and lemon balm. But those are only at 16 and 17 milligrams. So it's really, really low doses of that. You're likely not getting a ton of benefit from that. The main thing in here is the theanine and melatonin, which not a bad combo for sleep. You're going to have to take it a couple of hours before you actually plan to go to sleep. But I honestly, overall, I really like this. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's pretty good for what it is. And there's only 2 grams of sugar per 2 gummies. And the other added ingredients aren't the worst. I could do without it, especially when you're taking a supplement. Why are we adding extra ingredients to make it taste good? Why do we have to put supplements in a gummy form? I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. Number 5, we've got Kirkland fish oil. My only pro for this is that you can get it at Costco, and we all love Costco. That's all I have as far as a pro. So brace yourself for the cons here. And even if you're not taking it, I can guarantee you a family member probably does. So tell them, share this info with them. So the reason I don't like this as a fish oil, the therapeutic dose of fish oil being at least 1 gram to 1.5 grams, and that's the research is for specifically postpartum that I was talking about earlier, but that's honestly for everyone. If you're taking it for inflammation, you want at least 1 gram a day. So the Kirkland Costco fish oil has It says 100% natural fish oil, 1,400 milligrams. So you might think, oh, it's got 1,400 milligrams. Look at the label. You'll see it says omega-3 fatty acids, 330 milligrams. Other omega fatty acids, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11 are at 670. And then other fatty acids at 270. So we don't even fully know what's in there. It also has vitamin A and vitamin D as other things in here. So as far as a fish oil goes, the omega-3 fatty acids that are in there are only 330 milligrams, and it doesn't even say if it's EPA or DHA. So we're not fully getting a disclosure of what the breakdown of that is. The other thing is that the fish source, we are not quite sure about as far as, are they clean? Are they heavy metal free? All of that. And a lot of fish oil have high levels of heavy metals in them because of how and where they're getting their fish. And then lastly, and this is the big deal breaker for me, the big red flag for Kirkland fish oil, is that it is not NSF certified. That certification means that a product or service has met the standards set by the NSF International Foundation. It's a third-party organization, and they test and they certify products for their safety. And here's the reason that this is really important, is because when something is NSF certified, which all of these other supplements we're talking about today, even Lemme is NSF certified, but Kirkland fish oil is not. I didn't look at the other Kirkland supplement products. I'm not sure if they are, but specifically because we're talking about Kirkland fish oil, this one is not NSF certified. And when something is NSF certified, it means that they are evaluating every aspect of that product's development, from the manufacturing plant to they do inspections at the plant, and that's ongoing. As long as that product is continuing to be made, they have to continue to meet these standards. And they also meet good manufacturing practices, which are another set of standards that are qualified for NSF, and they're third-party tested. So it's really important to make sure that your supplements that you're consuming, whatever they are, even if they're not on this list, are NSF certified. And that's really why I love using the supplements in my dispensaries, because I know they're all NSF certified. So at the very least, we know we've passed that certification. So we're going to go with a hard no on the Kirkland fish oil. Here are some fish oil alternatives that I really love. The Omega Veil High Potency, which has about 1,600 milligrams of EPA and DHA. So it's a good dose. The other one is the Ultra Pure Fish Oil by Vital Nutrients. I really love this one as well. It's a little bit lower of a dose, but you can just double up the capsules. And then lastly, the Mega Marine. It's a gut-specific fish oil. This whole brand does everything specific to gut. So I haven't looked into what gut-specific fish oil means, but I do love that they now have a fish oil in their line of microbiome labs. So that is my third alternative for Kirkland fish oil. Number 4, we've got Garden of Life probiotics. You might be surprised by this. I see this one in a lot of different stores. Sprouts has it, Whole Foods has it, and you may have seen this and you might even be taking it. My pros for this, there's a good number of bacteria in this, specifically the Once Daily Women's Probiotic. It's got 50 billion CFUs. So if you're looking for a probiotic, you want 25 to 50 billion. 25 is a bare minimum. So this has 50, which is great. And it's got a ton of different strands. If you look at it, it's got a bunch of different lactobacillus strands. And the bifidobacterium and lactobacillus are 2 specific strands that we want for vaginal microbiome health. And because this is a women's probiotic, those are the 2 that are in here. So overall, I love this product. For an over-the-counter product, this is a really, really great one. So this one gets a thumbs up for me. Number 3, we are at SmartyPants Multi. So my pros to this are really just that there are some vitamins in it. So unlike Lemme, that seems useless to even take at all, this might give you something. My cons are that there are way too many additives in this product. It's a multivitamin, okay? You're taking this to improve your health and get extra nutrients. And this has way too many additives and a lot of sugar. It has 7 grams of sugar for 1 serving. If I am to actually follow the RDA guidelines of how much added sugar I should eat in a day, it's 25 grams. And 1/4 of that is in my multi. No thanks. I'm good on that. And it's also a very, very, very low dose of vitamins. So if you want to eat a gummy bear that has a little bit of vitamins in it, like as a healthy dessert, sure. This one also has omegas combined in it. When you're putting omegas into a capsule with a multi, remember we talked about this already, this is a gummy with a multi that is now a fish oil. So that's just too many things going on. It's going to be poor quality. It's going to be really low dose, which it is. So all in all, the SmartyPants Multi, hard pass. And that brings me to MaryRuth's Multi at number 2. So this is one that's a liquid multi. So a lot of people want to use this because they don't want to take pills, or they have kids and they use it for themselves as well. And honestly, that is one of my pros for this. It's a liquid and your whole family can use the same multi, which honestly, that is very convenient. I love that. And it's not too bad as far as added ingredients or sugar goes, especially for not being a capsule. You obviously have to add other things in there to make it taste good and palatable to get it down, especially when it's marketed for kids. And there's not a ton of extra added ingredients in there. And it's not a bad blend or amounts of nutrients that are in here. I like this product. I think it could have a tad more nutrients, but again, because it's marketed towards kids, they did a pretty good job with this. I'm pretty happy with the MaryRuth's liquid multi. And then lastly, the most popular product on the market, the most sold supplement for women is the Centrum Women's Multi. And again, you might not be taking this, but I can bet that someone in your family might be taking a women's Centrum multi. Here are my pros for this. It's cheap and easy to find. That's all I've got. Kind of similar to the Kirkland one. It's really, really low doses for a multi. And I often find that the people who are taking the Centrum Women's Multi are menopausal and postmenopausal women. They're going to need a lot more nutrients in this. And it's super low doses. The amount and the number of nutrients that are in here, there's hardly anything in there. And then they're not the right forms of nutrients that we're looking for. So when you're looking for B vitamins in a multi, you want your folate to not be folic acid. You want it to be a methylated folate. And you want the B12 to be a methylated B12 as well, which this is not. And then here's the kicker. There are so many added ingredients, and this is a tablet that you are swallowing. It is not a chewable. It is not a gummy, and it's got red and yellow dyes. For a tablet, it's a hard pass. Your tablets don't need dyes in them. You don't need added ingredients in them. This is a supplement for your health, and it's a swallow, like you're swallowing it. It's a tablet. Hard no. So this is my list of the top 10 supplements and my thoughts about whether or not they are worth buying. If you need more support with supplements, please make sure to check in with your doctor. And if you want to access these alternatives that I've talked about today, you can see them in the dispensary below. So follow for more tips about women's health and hormones, supplements, and nutrition. I will see you guys next week.